Hi, good morning, everyone. This is House on Pleasant Street channel here on YouTube, and I'm going to continue today with my bathroom renovation. I think what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to run the electrical. I've cut a notch up here where I'd like to install my wall-mounted bathroom fan, and of course I'll have to run a wire up through here and that. I'd like to rerun this GFI outlet somewhere in the wall over here. And I have cut another notch here where I want to install my wall heater. So obviously this is going to need another supply line for the electrical, and that's got to come all the way from the basement. So I'd like to get that done today. The last time I did some filming there, we hacked up this floor and fixed the plumbing. This is my last day at work before I go back to my marine job, so I'll probably be away for 2 weeks, unfortunately, but got to pay for this renovation somehow. So let's see what we get done today. Okay, a few minutes later. I never planned to peel all this plaster down, but it's just too crumbly. Like, for example, this wall here where the vanity will be. This is literally all falling down, so I'm not going to do the whole room. This plaster here is pretty good. This plaster is pretty good, but I think what I'll do is I'll cover it over. But in here, I'm just going to peel all this down. There's no point. I'm just going to make more work for myself trying to preserve it. I may leave this little sidewall, not sure. But I'm going to peel all this face. I'm going to peel this whole face, and I need to address this anyway, like I showed before. There's an entire cavity here that was missed by the insulators. So I do have some batt insulation. I will fill that. I will fill that lower cavity. There's a good chance that there's probably nothing under that window. So unfortunately, it's not really what I wanted to do, but I'm going to keep hacking at this plaster. I've got these garbage bins here. I've got 4 or 5 of them, so. Yeah, not really what I wanted to do, but there's no sense trying to preserve this. It is literally, there's too much movement. There's just too much movement. I'm going to just peel this off, and I'm either going to reface it with 1/4 inch or with the bead boards. I am not 100% sure yet, like I said several times. But yeah, let's keep hacking away at this wall and this wall. Maybe we'll lose that mirror today. We're not reusing that, so let's get rid of that. Hopefully don't disturb this outside wall, because I'd be happy to keep that one and cover it up. It's just got a little bit of jaggedness at the bottom, but that's minor. Same as behind this door. It's all pretty good here. A little bit of crackling, but that could just be resurfaced. All right. Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. But let's move on. Okay. All right. So I've been at this for about an hour now, and it's going fairly well. As you can see, I've made another mess. Believe it or not, I had swept here before I started today. But that's how it goes. Decided to peel this entire wall back, like I just mentioned. So some of it fell off. Some of it I had to peel off pretty hard. And I'm kind of glad I did now, because I've exposed all these wall cavities, including this one here, which I'm going to do as soon as I put this camera down. This was all missed by the insulators. So it's okay. I've got everything open, and I've bought some insulation. I've decided to peel down the lath on the in the roof part, and I can see that the insulation's a little bit discolored. That means that there's air movement up there, which is not ideal, but I mean, what can you do? There are quite a few gaps. So now's the time I will address this. I'll try to make this a little bit better. This wall here is all peeled now, so that is good. Yeah, so the light fixture will basically go back to where it was on the new wall, and I will jump the wire like I mentioned before. And now that everything's open, the wire will go around and will feed my exhaust fan, which will live over here, hopefully. I say hopefully because the box I know will fit there, but it comes with a very large light, which is probably going to have to stick out, and it might end up being over this pipe, which is not the end of the world, except for the fact that I have to respect the distance excuse me, between this pipe. I don't want to change the plumbing for the toilet. I want the toilet to go back there. I've already run the supply line. So obviously I can't build this up too much, otherwise the toilet tank, you don't want to cram yourself in there. So I think I should be able to get away with it, but that's good. Window casing, I'm trying to cut around the window casing. I'm trying to avoid removing it. I may have to, I don't know. But for now, I'm getting all this debris out of here. And yeah, maybe a lot of cleanup. I still got to get down there. I got a funny feeling there's nothing down there. Now over here, beyond this 2x4, I've pulled the blown-in cellulose because I wanted to mount my fan there. This is the blown-in cellulose. Try to grab a little bit. It's basically ground up newspaper that's been treated, and they inject it from the outside. If you watch any of my previous videos, you would have seen a video where we had the house insulated. So this cavity, I'm going to try to leave this alone because this is all going to be part of the area that's boxed in. So it's insulated. It'll be studded out and maybe even insulated again. So I'm going to try to leave this alone, but I want to get in here. I mean, I can touch the outside wall there. And I mean, we live in Canada, so it gets several degrees below freezing. So this has to be the more insulation we put in, the lower our heating costs are going to be. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm just going to finish up. I got to take the saw out, and I need to saw the, because that lath obviously it's underneath the casing. So if I just pull on the lath, I'm going to pull the casing off, and it's going to pull and tear and rip because the wood's very old and dry. So I'm going to try to slice, see if that works. It might not work, but I'm going to try. Same with this side and same with the bottom. Okay, let's keep progressing. Not even lunchtime yet. Okay, so I think I finally got this room gutted to where I want to be. This wall is completely bare now. We'll start from scratch. It'd just be that much easier. I've also peeled back all the lath that was here. Again, it's not needed. Whether I drywall, plywood, or beadboard the ceiling, not required. I pulled down that little bit of insulation that was in there. It looked hideous. It was all blackened. Since I'm coming this far, I'm gonna go through the trouble. And it's not a big deal. I'm gonna put some fresh insulation up there. I'm just going to go with the batt insulation again. It is what it is. So now, let's get on with this electrical, which is what I was supposed to be doing 4 hours ago. So, one wire for my outlet, which I'm going to rerun under here and mount into the wall here somewhere. I'll probably take off this shielded portion. Not going to be required because it's going to be buried in the wall. From my light fixture, obviously my light fixture is going to be replaced, but the pancake box will be reused and remounted somewhere here in the center. And I'm going to run everything from this light, including my fan. I want to run from this light switch over here, which is this one. This one. Very simple. And then what I'm going to do is in the junction box, I'm going to join another wire. And I think I'm going to make it up through here. I'm going to drill through there and run the wire up in the cavity. Up, so I'll have to drill through this rafter, this one, then make it come down here somewhere. That's the plan for the electrical. Very simple. Not a lot involved. It took time to get to this step. Now, I was able to peel everything and leave the casing in place, which is this is doing things half-assed backwards. But I don't know, the casing's not disturbed and it looks pretty good. So if I can put my material or my drywall or what have you, if I can somehow fit that without disturbing the casing, like I said, it's not usually not how it would be done, but rather than disturb the old casing, I'm going to try this. And this is an example of where they found the cavities when I had the cellulose blown in. I'll just show this while I got this open. So obviously they drilled from outside and they were able to fill this cavity, and they got it densely packed. So this is exactly what you want. So they did this one right. They completely missed this one because, I mean, from outside, this is a second story, so they would have been working off of a ladder. So, but anyway, I'm not making excuses for them. They missed this cavity, but they got this one. Then they missed this one, which is this one, went all the way to the roof line. And they missed all of these. Now they got this one here. This is all done. So, no big deal. And the ribbon joist was never done, like I mentioned. I did the ribbon joist. The kitchen is below us. When I gutted the ceiling of the kitchen and I did the kitchen, I did the whole ribbon joist of the house. This is something that they could not do from the outside, because obviously if they drilled in through there, they would just fill in. They would just be filling in this entire floor cavity. So they don't even try to do that. But they did miss a few spots that I'm going to get because I have bat insulation. No big deal. And while I'm at it, I'm going to do the ribbon joist in here. So every little bit of insulation helps cut down the power bill. So while we've got this all opened up, we'll address this. But for now, I'm going to grab a bite to eat. Then I'm going to jump back in and run this electrical here. And if there's any time at all, I may even start to put in a little bit of insulation. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, well, getting close to supper time now, but I did manage to get the electrical run. You can tell it's already getting dark out. But I ran all new electrical from the basement. So I have one new line coming up. I'm going to make it go on this side. This will be boxed in. That's fine. Going up through here, through the rafters. Coming back down around. And that will be my GFI outlet for my my power by there, just above the sink, or by the sink. Nothing's changed with the light. The light is fed from the switch. And I now have this little jumper line that's going to be attached to the light so that when you turn the light on, the fan will automatically come on. And I've got this jumped over here into the rafters, and it's going to come down over here to where the fan is going to live. Now, over on this side, I ran a wire from the same hole. This came from the basement from its own feed. I've got a wire coming. I decided to snake this one through the floor and make it come up here. And that's just sort of roughed in there for my little wall heater. So that's where I'm at. Wiring is done. I am going to jump into some insulation. I'm going to get these rafters done. And I'm going to do the rest of what was missed. So a little bit of insulation should be no more than about an hour's worth. And then it'll be time to do some cleanup. Okay. Okay, well, there we have it. The insulation is all in. I had one bundle of insulation, so I started the ribbon joist. I did the areas that were missing. I did above the window. I did the roof. And, well, there. I was shy about half of a piece, so I reused some of the pink. No big deal. It's the same R value. So there we are. Insulated and rough wired.